It all started when my mom met my dad, and they fell in love, and they had me. Hi.
I was born in Monterey, California, but my dad was in the Navy, so we were moving pretty quickly. And I have really no memories of ever having lived there. We lived there only 1 year after I was born. My brother was born there, and then we moved away. I grew up mostly in Northern Virginia, in the suburbs of Washington, D.C. Um, I spent a lot of my time doing things outdoors, riding bikes. There were empty lots, construction sites, and woods across the street that my brother and I and our friends would go roam around in the woods. We built a BMX park on an empty dirt lot, and we rode our bikes around there. And then as we got a little bit older, we started branching out more, riding our bikes on a local rail trail that we could go pretty far. We would disappear for like the entire day and not come back until dinner time on our bikes. We also lived on a lake, and so I grew up swimming. Learned how to swim at a pretty young age, and we swam in the lake. We weren't afraid to swim in water of unknown depth. I learned to sail on the lake, and I learned to windsurf on the lake as well. So we spent a lot of time, especially in the summertime, out on the water because it was hot and you could just jump in the lake and cool off. I went to college in North Carolina at Duke University, and eventually went back to graduate school in Maryland at the University of Maryland. And so this is sort of the beginning of the long road that brought me to eventually where I live now, which is in Franklin, Massachusetts. After living in Maryland and going to grad school there for a while, I moved to Florida. Lauren was born before we moved with Melissa, and we lived in Florida for quite a long time before deciding to just sort of change things up, especially to give Melissa different opportunities for work that weren't available in Florida. And so we moved to Massachusetts. I graduated from college a long time ago. It was now 31 years ago. So I don't remember a lot of the details of what graduation was like. I know I had a lot of family who came into town in Durham. It was a nice spring day. And we had a nice event in the Duke Chapel, and then the stadium graduation where all the different colleges were announced kind of one by one. But the thing I remember the most, strangely, was we had plans to go out to dinner at a restaurant called the Angus Barn. It's a very popular place. And of course, it was graduation, so lots of people had plans as well, and they don't take reservations, so you just kind of show up. And the Angus Barn knew that it was going to be ridiculous waits to get in, and that people were gonna do it. And so the wait for us to get in was about 4 hours. And so they had bars set up outside and hors d'oeuvres that you could get, and like live music. And so it was basically like a 4-hour party. And then we sat down to dinner at like 11 p.m. and ate dinner until midnight. So that was a strange kind of a thing, but that was my college graduation.
And how do you feel about me graduating from college?
So when I think about you graduating from college, I'm kind of excited for you. Maybe with some people as a parent, you might be thinking like, uh-oh, how's it gonna go? Are they ready? Are they, you know, their fun days of college are coming to an end or something like that. But I know that you're going to be really excited to be part of the adult world, and you're going to really enjoy all the things that you can do outside of the confines of being a college student. What are you doing?
Put lipstick on.
Why are you putting on lipstick?
Cause it's good when I do that. Some can't be on the down.
Are your lips pretty now?
Nope, they're bad.
They're bad.
Cause they don't have any more down on the down one.
We'll go.
They don't do that.
You don't do that? There's two things I remember about Lauren as a little kid. And of course, none of these have changed in any, most likely. But those two things are the unflinching and completely inflexible sense of right and wrong, number one. And number two, the Lauren as teacher. And the Lauren as teacher persona came out on a lot of different occasions that I can remember. One, lining up the stuffed animals for swim class, so Lauren as swim instructor, but then just in front of the chalkboard, and we had this chalkboard that was my chalkboard when I was a toddler. So to see Lauren in front of that teaching class was a special sight. And I mean, it would be a special sight even if it hadn't been my chalkboard, because the complete incredible make-believe. I'm not sure there were any students in this particular memory, just Lauren writing on the board, telling everybody, making sure that there were no discipline problems, the whole thing. Great memories. Lauren's diorama project was my indoctrination into what it means to be a parent with a school project. It was at the same time a big effort and also a key failure, because what I didn't think about and what I didn't advise Lauren correctly about was to look at the rubric. And we did not make that mistake again. So with the Leaf project, which was fun because I'm a botany major, and yet I don't really know anything about trees, and I could drag Lauren around looking for leaves. But we did that project to the letter. And similarly, the Rube Goldberg project, we kind of went all out on that one as well, because we could.
Tell me about a time when you had to make a choice or a choice was made for you.
So there's a lot of choices that you make that end up having significant impacts on things. Some you don't realize when you're making a decision what the impact of that will be. But there was one decision that kind of stands out in my mind. And at the time, Melissa and I had been dating for a number of years, and we were both in graduate school. We were both investing a lot of energy in developing ourselves as individuals and in developing our potential careers. And she finished her degree before I did, and uh, was looking for jobs and got an offer for a job that was in South Carolina. It was 12 hours from where we lived. And, on the face of it, it seemed like this was exactly what she'd been working for. And so, who was I to say that she shouldn't take up that opportunity? But for any couple that where both people have been pursuing their ambitions, there comes a point where you have to say, hey, we are important too. Ourselves as a couple are important, and um, in that decision at that time, um, I kind of realized that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with her, um, and that I needed to tell her that, and we needed to act that way, as if we were more important than each of us individually, even though we had each individually been working so hard up to that point to do the best things for ourselves. So this may be more about me than them, but when I think about the question, you know, does Lauren look up to me, or do any of my kids look up to me? I think the answer to that is no, not really. And the reason I think that is that all of them haven't had any doubts about who they were or what they could do from the very beginning. And so, if anything, if I look back over the past 21 years, it's not really been me leading the way, but just me being there for a constant matching of the wits. You know, we'll spar back and forth on whatever topic of the day we want to debate about, and Lauren's never disappointed, and neither do her sisters. They always have their point of view.